Hi, my name is Amy Butcher, and welcome to your Remarkable Nonprofits Explainer series. With this series, you get very short explanations of specific content topics that will drive your nonprofit mission. Today's topic is how to use content to get donations. So, why do you use content? Because donors aren't necessarily searching for you, they're searching for other things online. They want to know how they make a difference. They want to know how to solve a problem or the best place to give to a certain cause. They're not going online just necessarily searching for you. So the goal with content is to attract people with very larger, broader topics that have to do with your cause, but that don't have to do with you and that people might be searching for. Now, you also have to understand that you're not going after everybody under the sun, and not everybody wants to give to you. So when you're creating content, especially online content, you want to know who right now gives to our cause and what are they interested in besides just us. And with our nonprofit, how can we improve our potential donors' lives with content? Because what the majority of nonprofits do online is this is all about us, it's all about us, it's all about us. But if you want to attract people and get a broader audience, you have to look at their interests that go beyond you. And the first step that we take is to do a little donor research and to figure out who exactly it is we're targeting. So let's think about your audience and let's put yourself in their shoes. I always compare it to getting all of these emails from a friend. Let's say she just only talked about herself, about, oh, aren't my shoes that I just bought so cute? And my son and my children are so smart and everything about me is so great. And you would probably find that a little bit boring after a while. But when you're sending newsletter about news about you, it's pretty much the same effect. It's not as engaging to get something that from someone who only talks about themselves as it is when they ask a question. Hey, how are you today? Or what are your passions and ideals? And what are the kinds of things you're interested in? Oh, hey, we're interested in that too. So it sparks more of a conversation than just a one-way street. Now, another message I like to give to nonprofits for their content is to think like a best-selling author. If you're creating a newsletter or if you're creating any kind of content, you kind of have to think, well, what is my audience getting out of this content? Are they going to come away with some kind of benefit? Is there something exciting about this content that would make them share it? Will the person physically reading this thing that I have written, what will they take away from it that it will somehow make their life different? It doesn't have to be anything humongous, but something they should learn or something they can use or something that makes a bit of a difference in their everyday. Because that's the kind of content that attract people and that they're interested in. Now, let's say you do your donor research and you figure out a way to create content that isn't all about you and it is a bit more useful. You can package this all up into a content mission. So a content mission, doesn't have to do with your nonprofit mission. It has to do with something that you want to achieve with your content. And it's something you think that your audience will value. Like this, for example, let's say you run a health nonprofit and you specifically work with children. You can maybe create a newsletter for parents to tell them how to keep their kids healthy, the best ways, the best kinds of foods they can eat, or any kinds of health tips that they can use that's really useful in their lives. You can also give them something they can't get anywhere else, because if you're a nonprofit and you have a lot of expertise, that expertise can maybe apply beyond just the people who use your services. Maybe if you have specific tips like some kind of for people's psychological well-being, or how to overcome adversity, or anything that even if it applies to specific people could apply to a broader audience that is very unique to you. Now, a content mission, as I said before, is not the same as your mission for your nonprofit. Now, according to the Content Marketing Institute, a content mission has to indicate your core audience, what you're going to deliver to that audience, and the outcome for that audience. Now, you can see that it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your audience. And this is very similar to what a magazine editor for a newspaper how they would create an editorial statement. It is something that's very focused on the person who is receiving the content and not the person who's producing the content. Now, to get people to sign up for your content, eventually you do want them to have some kind of bribe that they're going to download so that they'll sign up to your email list. And as I said before, if your content mission is to provide, let's say, healthy cooking, then you can have maybe a quick cookbook that you're going to give people to entice them to sign up. You could have maybe a series of cute videos. You could have an email course. You could have some health tips. But if you notice in all of these things, none of them really have anything to do with, well, this is what our nonprofit is about. Now, that kind of content does have its place, but in the grand scheme of things, to attract people, we're looking at any kind of content that has a broader purpose, it has to do with your cause, but it has to do with the needs of the people that you're going after. So this is your little quick guide, and if you would like to read the in-depth post, you can head on over to Your Remarkable Nonprofit, and I have a blog post called Use This No-Fail Content Plan to Boost Donations. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.